Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second episode of the Strompcast. We're on episode 189 in total. But yeah, we're glad to be here. We are the national futsal champions. Let's go. Another win for the modalities. The football season was shocking, but the modalities have been pretty decent, and the futsal team is definitely a highlight of sport, definitely over the last 5 years. So congratulations to them, guys. But before we get into any of the juicy stuff, let me introduce you to my two co-hosts. First, you've got the main man, Richard. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's we're off season is officially upon us. We're entering international kind of games and stuff now, and transfer rumors. So it's kind of the fun time of year where you've got that renewed sense of optimism before it all comes crashing down in like October.
Yeah, well, sometimes September or August.
Sometimes even sooner if you're a sporting fan.
Yeah, most definitely. And last but not least, we've got Chris. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. Yeah, summer's definitely in full swing. Got a lot of rumors coming around. Some get dismissed within like a day or two by Ugarte that's from an outside source. Some just kind of linger. Obviously, Gyökeres is
Gyökeres is actually the way to pronounce it. I searched up a YouTube video and I was like, how do you pronounce it? And it's
how do you pronounce
it? He's obviously been like the main target and like the main like saga, you could say, I guess, for Sporting. But once he's resolved, Van Ewink, I would say, is kind of a saga. Like there will be Kawats leaves, there'll be a scramble to sign a center back. Like there's still
the John Lucas deal has disappeared though.
Yeah, the John Lucas
has disappeared off the face of the planet.
There's still things that are gonna happen. They'll obviously leave a bit of business towards the end. We'll get the official sale of Ugarte probably on like July 1 or soon after. So yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that's gonna happen. But yeah, we're definitely in full swing with the rumors.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm, of course, Sam. Follow me here. Don't forget to follow Danny there as well. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ATA Alvalade. But before we get into anything, we're going to play a little game of Guess the Career Path. So let me get an intro rolling. And of course, as you can see, Kevin is not here. Kevin is the rightful champion, but could not make it today, unfortunately. So these two are fighting out to be the number one contender, fitting as it is Money in the Bank on Saturday for wrestling. So these two are sort of fighting for their own little cash in.
We're fighting for the Stromp in the bank.
The Stromp in the bank.
For the money in the Stromp. I don't know,
I mean, both works. Money in the Stromp probably sounds a bit better. But if you are new, let me just get the rules up. So each contestant gets one guess per round. Unless all contestants' guesses are wrong, they can enter again. Each mystery club player's journey will end at Sporting, although they could have joined other clubs. Contestants have to buzz in using their name. So, Chris, can I get you to buzz in for me?
Chris.
And Richard?
Richard.
Beautiful. So the paths split into two paths in three different categories. Easy, which is worth 1 point. Medium, which is worth 2. And hard, which is worth 3. And also one tiebreaker / expert difficulty, which is worth 4 points. Winner will be declared champion, will earn the prize, my respect, and not the title of champion, but the title of number one contender. Just as a quick sort of example, this would be Jesse Rodriguez because he had them clubs before he came to Sporting. I know he went elsewhere, but that's the example. So that would be Jesse Rodriguez. So my two contestants are you?
By the way, he was at Sampdoria. They went down. I don't know if he's sticking around. I'm assuming he's not. So. Someone should sign him.
I always hope that someone's not us. Not gonna lie. Full offense, but I hope it's not us. Hope we're not the someone. We can go to MLS.
But yeah, are you guys ready? Understand the rules and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as we're gonna.
Okay, let's start with the easy one. So in 3, 2, 1.
Richard.
Richard.
Is it Freddie Montero?
That is 1 sec. That is correct. That is
guy.
Freddie,
come on the show.
Easy ones are only 1 point. We're fine.
I know. We gotta get a groove going.
Okay, right. And the next easy one in 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Richard. Fabio Quintrão.
That is another point
Let's
to
go.
Richard. So Richard is currently in the lead with 2 points.
There was a small pit stop at Zurich. I think
that was the one that was really throwing me off there.
That's that.
I think he had like
up.
3 games at Zaragoza.
And it was Zaragoza and Monaco both
threw
me off.
Alone, right?
That's what I'm assuming.
It was a loan, a loan from Benfica to Nacional to Zaragoza to Real Ave, and then 2 years at Benfica, then to Real Madrid to Monaco.
Okay, see, that's what screwed me up was there was no second Benfica stop from the loan.
Oh, okay.
And Monaco did screw me up a bit as well because I was like, Monaco? I was like, I'm going to guess this because the only guy who's played for most of these teams I can think of.
I know you guys can't see the chat, but it's just a comment there for Chris. That
is good. I'll take that.
Take it.
But cool. We're on to the medium part now, which is worth 2 points. So in 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Chris.
Teo Gyökeres.
That is 2 points.
Oh, he's back in the game.
Gyökeres.
He's right back in it.
That was a very good shout.
That's a good guess. That was a good shout.
And the next medium one in 3, 2, 1.
Who the shit? It's not who. That's not that. I don't know. That's a good. You've done a. This is a medium one.
Oh, Chris.
He's got it.
I don't know about this, but I'm gonna go with it. It's from the same era as the one before. Alberto Aquilani.
No,
that is an incorrect guess.
No, that's what I was gonna guess that, but I'm like, no, because there was an AC Milan star. I guessed them last time.
So, Richard, I'll give you a minute, and then Chris can buzz back in after that minute if you.
I got a minute.
Guess. Yeah, you have a whole minute.
All right, I think Chris is on. I think it is the same era, but I want to try to deduce this.
Livorno. I mean, Livorno's in like
Livorno's throwing me off a bit.
They're really down low now, but they were in the top flight.
You know what? Actually, this could be a mid-2000s guy. I'm trying to think of UEFA guys from the UEFA Cup team.
You've got 30 seconds left, Rich.
I'm gonna fire with it. Is it Nikolai?
That is an incorrect guess. So, Chris, you are back in as well.
That's a decent one.
I was thinking it's either like right around Teo Gutierrez era, or it might be like a mid-2000s. So now we're both back in, or
what's that second club?
Yeah, you're both back in. That
second club is for
Pseudo?
I think that's just their motto. Who is that second club?
Let me get it up.
Okay, because that's really thrown all of us through a loop.
I don't know if that's even gonna help me necessarily.
It probably won't. I can't say it's the team in Italy.
Okay,
that's what I'm assuming.
It is a team called Carenses.
Okay.
Fucking Richard. Is it Pinilla? Mauricio Pinilla?
That is incorrect. So, Chris, a minute on the clock.
I'm just gonna start rhyming off guys that I can remember off the top of my head.
If Chris doesn't get this one, I'll give you a clue.
Yeah, that's fair. It's on you now, Chris. I want to say it has to be an Italian guy, but it might just not be an Italian guy.
You've got 30 seconds left, Chris.
Oh, this is thrilling stuff.
Look, all right, I'll just take the hint. I'll save us 30 seconds.
Okay.
All
right. So the hint is that he only played one season at Sporting, and that was after the year 2010.
After 2010. Okay, after 2010. one year as well, you know.
He made 24 appearances in that one season.
24. It's post 2010.
Could have been on like the worst team ever, you know.
That's what I'm wondering. I blocked so much of that team from my memory.
I know.
It's not. I was gonna say Insua, but I know it's not him because there's a Liverpool stop before. That would have been a
Chris?
horrible guess.
Chris?
Gone.
Renato?
That is an incorrect guess.
Renato who?
No, the Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
R-I-N, the captain.
Oh, Fito Ronaldo. Oh. Okay.
Okay, same again, Richard. You got.
I got
I'll give you
30 seconds.
this time. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Did
Yeah,
Keeper have a little stint at Betis?
Yeah, but he went to Betis after Sporting.
After Sporting, it was also he didn't do all that Italian.
He was Boavista to Sporting, then Betis.
You got 5 seconds left, Richard. Sorry.
Is it Romagnoli?
That is an incorrect guess. So I'll give you guys another clue.
One more. This is gonna be fucking Jaime Valdez all over again. I'm already gonna be pissed off. I'm getting pissed. This is gonna be Jaime Valdez.
I'm gonna read the teams after he left Sporting. So after he left Sporting,
Okay.
Valencia, Atlanta, Red Star Belgrade, and a team in the second Bundesliga called Magdeburg.
Magdeburg.
That's
Richard.
the one. Richard.
Is it? No, it's not. I was gonna say Stojkovic, but that's a bad guess because he said after 2010.
That is an incorrect guess.
I
I'm
just
gonna have to
wasted
take
a
it,
guess.
unfortunately.
Yeah, take it. That's I deserve that. I was
So Chris,
stupid.
and again, 30 seconds, and then I'll give you a clue, and the next clue will be.
There's probably people in the chat that have already answered
damn.
that are losing
I
their
feel like I'm
minds.
just like sometimes you just feel like you're not getting it.
No one's put in an answer yet. Someone said
No
like,
one's- no-
he
so
knows
no
the
one in the
answer,
chat
but
has
no
put
one's
into it.
put the answer.
You can put it in the chat if you want. Like we're not.
Oh
gonna
yeah.
see
By
it.
the way, you can put it in the chat because Richard and Chris are off.
Yeah.
We
off
can't.
full
We
screen,
can't see it,
feel
so you
free.
can
I did
laugh
put
at us
them.
further if you really want to. I don't
Okay,
know.
you got 5 seconds left, Chris.
After
Okay, yeah.
2010.
Someone has guessed it in the chat.
Someone has guessed it.
Yeah.
It's got to be an Italian, but I can't think. Oh wait,
The Italian
gotta-
was Spaniard?
there's like 2 or 3 Italians that have played for Sporting that I
You
can remember.
You are now both back in. Do you want the clue or do you want to go for the guess?
Give me 10 seconds. I think I can deduce this. So
All
there's
right,
3
10 seconds on the
Italians.
clock.
Aquilani's out because he didn't have AC because he has the AC Milan. The only other Italian I can think of, I'm gonna lock this in, Richard. Is it Pacini?
That is 2 points.
Batiste
Two.
threw me off.
Wow.
Batiste really threw me off on that one.
And if Petri was playing as well, he would have got that as well.
So
Yeah,
Terry would have
he's
beat us
like,
both to it by the sounds of it. Yeah.
He kind of fell off. He might even be a free agent right now, right?
I think
Wow,
he is.
was
Yeah.
one season. I forgot he was only one season. That screwed me up too.
Yeah, the
I
next
was
clue was
thinking,
going
like,
to be that he
I was
played in
thinking worst team
2017.
Yeah, I was thinking like worst team ever, like Chris had said, like the dregs of Sporting history.
Yeah, fuck.
And like I blocked so much of that team out.
Okay, going into the final, well, the hard round, shall I say?
What's the
Rich
scores
is currently
again?
in the lead. You are in the lead by 2, so you have 4 points. Chris has 2.
All right,
Hard
I gotta
point
get
is,
one of these.
of course, worth 3. So let me give you the first hard one in 3, 2, 1.
Who the shit? Richard Stojkovic.
That is 3 points.
Yeah, I saw Red Star. I saw a bunch of Serbians. I
I
was like,
thought
it's
that
gotta
would
be
have
him.
been too obvious. Oh my god.
As soon as I saw all the
What's
Serbians.
crazy is that you said Stojkovic in your earlier games, and then
know.
last time you did the same for Andre Pinto.
Oh,
So I don't understand.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's wild. I promise I'm not lost.
Eliminated with that.
What?
What's the
You're
score now?
basically.
So Rich is on 7, so you've still got a hard and then the expert one. So you're,
Oh,
you're
okay,
still
so
in it.
it's
So you gotta change. Like if neither of us get this one, then
Expert,
it's
that's
done.
probably like impossible.
Now I'm
So
thinking
either-
about it. This next hard one might not be very hard, but it was just
Okay.
someone who I picked out of thin air. So
So
next one.
either Chris has to get this one, or if we neither of us get this one because we're idiots, then it's just game.
in 3, 2, 1.
Who the fucking?
Chris?
That's
Chris?
it's not a lot of stuff.
Heffron?
That is incorrect guess.
Oh, that was a good shout. Jefflin would have been a good shout, you know.
A minute on the clock.
From Internacional to Barca, we haven't had a whole lot of Barcelona transfers, have we? This is a tough one. It's on me now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You've got
Son of a
40
bitch.
seconds left.
Yeah, if I don't get this one, you might need to give us a hint.
I'll let you guess one more time after, and I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
30 seconds on the clock.
It's got to be a Brazilian. It's not Polga. Is it Anderson? It can't be Polga, is it? That's my
That
guess.
is an incorrect
yeah,
guess.
I was going to say there's no shot.
So, Chris, you are back in. And as Richard as well, back in still.
Jeez. It's got to... I want to say it's got to be Brazilian. Now it might not even be a Brazilian.
Not Eduardo Enrique, who...
No, God, no.
I think he started at Internacional.
Yeah, but I'd like to think he didn't have a Barcelona
I
stint in
wish
the
he
middle.
did. He deserved it.
Sure he did. This has got to be an early 2000s guy because I can't think of any other direct transfers
30 seconds
outside
on the
of
clock.
Jeffrin. Who the fuck? Who the hell is this?
It's not Matthew, who we got from...
It's not Jeremy Mathieu. There would have been French. There would have been at least one French team. I don't know, you know.
5, 4, 3.
Take the hint.
1.
Take the hay hour. I'm with Chris. Give us the hit for the logo because we could be here a while.
Okay.
Like time frame or what he did after sporting or like, you know, amount of time he played, like something, anything.
Okay, so he had... I don't know which... Okay, he had 7 appearances for his national team, but I won't name the national team.
7 appearances for his national team.
Yeah. 30 seconds, I'll give you another clue.
I'm just gonna start going with mid 2000s guys. Richard. Is it Rodrigo Talo?
That is an incorrect guess.
I figured.
So Chris, you've got 15
this is a good
seconds on
one.
the clock.
Who the hell is this guy?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. All right. The next hint is that he had 4 years at Barcelona before joining Sporting, 45 appearances and 3 goals.
4 years. This is his time at Barcelona, not at Sporting.
Barcelona.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. That was his time at
Okay.
Barcelona. 4 years for Barcelona, having
4
45
years at
appearances and 3 goals.
Barcelona. What the fuck? 4 years at Barcelona. Who the hell have we ever got from Barcelona? Fucking, I'm gonna go with the guess because it's the only brother Brazilian I can think of. Richard. It can't be Rockenbach, is it? There's no shot.
It is
Oh,
Fabio Rochenbach.
No, I honestly, that's the only other Brazilian I was thinking.
Danny
of.
would have been pissed, bro.
Danny would have been mad. Danny was spitting in his grave if he had one.
So
Wow,
Brazilian
did not know what I was guessing.
You
there. I
signed
was
him
hoping.
directly from Barcelona?
on
No
loan
way.
from Barcelona, and then he had
Okay.
4 years at Middlesbrough. Then we re-signed him, which was going to be my
See,
next.
I feel like if you had had the Middlesbrough in
Yeah, that would have
between,
been. It would have been.
that would have clicked because I would have known then. Because I remember he was a Middlesbrough guy, and then we bought him from Middlesbrough for like a year or two.
Yeah, there was one guy in the chat who got Rochenbach.
Good for him. That took us
So-
a lot longer than I'm proud to admit.
So unfortunately, Chris, this means you've lost.
Chris
But
earned it, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
10 points for Richard, but there is one you can still
Is that,
take
a
the
new
pride, man.
fucking- is that a new one-round record? 10 points?
I think that's
think
tied
so.
at the very least. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a. I don't think. I think feel like someone's had a 10-point round.
I'm pretty sure last game you and Kevin had joint at 9 at one point, or maybe joint 8.
Well,
I feel like one of the weeks before too, like one of us had 10.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'll have to go back into the archives and see. I'm curious what the expert one is now, unless you want to save it for another day.
No, man, we'll go for it now.
We're going live. We're doing it live, ladies and gentlemen.
In
All
3,
right.
2, 1.
This is just for pride. Who's that? Richard. Pedro Porto?
That is incorrect guess.
I just heard Man City.
Chris, a minute on the clock for yourself.
Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is as well, I think.
You know who it is?
I think I know who it is. There's one man. He played when we sucked. I want to give you 30 seconds. I want to yield to you and see if you can figure it out, but I think I might know who it is. Because if it's who I think it is, he fucking stunk. That's who I think it is.
Another 30 seconds on the clock, and then I'll open it up.
I gotta hope Rich doesn't know who it is.
If it's who I think it is, this guy was just fucking hot dog water. He was so bad.
10 seconds left, Chris.
Awful.
5, 4, 3,
All right, Richard, let's hear
2,
it.
1. Go on, Richard.
Is it Felipe Caicedo?
That is
Oh boy!
correct.
You know why? Man City. That's the only thing I wouldn't have guessed if I didn't see Basel. That's the only other thing I had.
So, I mean, to be fair, there was some quality guesses by both of you, to be
Right.
That
fair.
was crazy, bro.
We always pull out like one or two or like random ones out of the hat. That's like, ooh, shit, that's a decent shit. The Jeffrin one was a good shout.
Yeah,
I didn't guess Miguel Garcia.
Caicedo actually ended up having a pretty decent career after
Just
flopping.
not at Sporting.
I will say in the video you guys have seen that we've got scheduled, he's actually one of the players I mentioned. So maybe not a lot of people know he was there because he was only there for half
a year, not even, yeah.
No, half
It
season.
wasn't for long.
So Richard, that means you are the number one contender to Kevin's crown.
So Kevin's
got a message to Kevin.
Kevin, I believe your championship, undisputed as you claim to be, is now very disputed.
14 points for Richard.
14 points. Mauling. I am coming for that ass, Kevin.
14-2.
14-2. I'm coming for that ass. I'm gonna beat you too.
To be fair, that two from you, Chris, was a good shout.
I would have got that too. That was good.
Teo Gutierrez out of nowhere, man.
Teo Gutierrez. I don't think I would have got. To be fair.
Rare.
All right, so Kevin, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, Richard is the champion. So that was a good game from both of you. But let's get into sort of the main topics. And I guess we'll start off with the futsal, as we mentioned it earlier on.
Yep.
So we beat Benfica. Is it legged, right? So it was like 2 legs. Is that correct?
Yeah,
No,
it's over.
best of 5.
It's a best of 5. They won
3-1.
3-1, yes.
So yeah, Sporting winning. There we go, winning the title.
Honestly, a very fucked up goal that ended up being the decider. Like
Yes.
the Benfica goalie was pushing forward and he kind of took a bad touch and decided to gamble rather than
And it just did not help.
rather than drop back, I guess, and be conservative and maybe hope a defender could stall enough for him to get back. And the Sporting player just won the tackle and basically just walked it into an open net.
Very hotly contested, especially those last 2 games, very tightly contested. The Ziki goal that went literally viral on all platforms, not just Portuguese, but global, where he just might as well have retired that defender and the goalie. Just unbelievable stuff. But yeah, this was a very nail biter of a final game. Gita in his last game just bailed this fucking team out. He made some unbelievable saves, especially down the stretch. So in extra time. So yeah, it's good to see him and Eric were both leaving to finish on a high, finish with the title. Would have been nice if they could have had the a third UCL to go with it as well, but we moved.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, sort of a high point our futsal team's been, especially in the last sort of 5 years, where other modalities haven't really been great, football included in that, I think. So definitely have done us proud over the last 5 years, and just another great accolade for them. So shout out to the futsal team. Very
3 in a
good.
row now, isn't it? 3 titles in a row.
Yep.
3 Campeones. Look at that.
Didn't win either cup this year, but
No cups this year, and lost on penalties in the Champions League. So,
but yeah, that is a great victory. And I've just got a message from our boy Danny Saldana saying he's watching on his break, yelling Fabio Rochenbach. So,
I knew it. As soon as I started watching back and saw him pop up, like, he's losing his mind. That was his boy.
But yeah, on to some transfer news, and we have got a lot to cover. So first, let's start off with the most recent news, I suppose, which pretty much broke probably about an hour ago now. Is that Sporting have acquired 10% more of Ugarte's pass for 2 million, 40% more of Pedro Gonçalves for 7.7 million, both from Famalicão. Sporting own 80% of Ugarte, 90% of Pot. Obviously, Ugarte is joining PSG come July 1st, so we'll be getting a lot more percentage than we thought. And Pedro Gonçalves linked to Aston Villa, linked to Arsenal, but as far as we're aware, not really been going anywhere, just rumours at this point. So I'll start off with you, Richard. What are your thoughts on Sporting dealing with Famalicão? Because Famalicão said for the longest time they weren't going to budge on Pedro Gonçalves. They were down to get 50%.
Not only did they not budge, they basically gave it to us at cost of what we gave them for the first 50%, which blows my mind. So, Varandas masterclass in that regards, at least. Regard like you're spending 2 million, but you're going to make that back many more folds with what you're going to sell them for. It's 60 million is the rumored agreement. So, paying 2 million to get an extra few percent, 10% of that is fine by me. But yeah, I'm more surprised at the Pedro Gonçalves that they gave it to us like prorated to what we paid for him in 2020. Like, I'm not complaining by any means. I'm just surprised they didn't stick to their guns like they said. Oh well.
Yeah, so they were down to get 50% of Pedro Gonçalves if he was sold. So that's probably the main one. I think they already had 70% of Ugarte, if I'm not mistaken, from games played.
So it's 80% we have now. So
yeah, Chris, what are your overall thoughts on the dealing with Famalicão?
Yeah, I guess it is a little bit surprising, but I mean, we know that. I'm assuming they probably got bullied in some way or another. Yeah. Most likely, that the 10% of Ugarte Sporting basically already had agreed to. It was going to be auto triggered after he hit 90 games. He never ended up hitting it. He came up short. He was like at 86 or something like that.
He's 4 games shy. So
yeah. So I mean, that was basically. They just
it was going to happen sooner rather than later.
That they would have paid if that auto triggered, which just missed out on. But then the pot, I guess, 6.5 for the first half, and then 7 plus another 700K for like finances for the second half. Yeah, I mean, why did they do that? I don't know. Maybe they wanted cash now rather than waiting for a potential pot sale, especially if they know that it's not going to happen this summer. That could be a potential reason. Like maybe 20 million would be nice in 2 years, but 7 million right now would be better, perhaps, is the thinking. I don't know.
Maybe.
So yeah, that's basically That's basically it. I guess it's good, definitely good for Sporting, right? To always have more economic rights to these players. By no means cheap acquisitions. We're at 12.5 million in total for Ugarte, 14 million for Pot. That probably makes him our second most expensive signing, I'm guessing.
As of today, yes, he'd be just behind Paulinho.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not cheap, but
now.
It feels
for now.
Fair, right?
Yeah,
relatively fair.
I think you nailed it.
So yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I assume Uncle George was probably involved in some of these dealings. It just smells of George.
Whatever give you that impression.
But from obviously I'm happy for Sporting doing the deal, but from a financial sense for Famalicão, like Chris said, unless they needed money now for things, it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless they didn't think So Ugarte won a fair enough 10% isn't that much of a difference anyway. They probably won't get a lot, but 50% of Pedro Gonzalez, unless they don't think he's going to move.
Maybe
for a
they
while.
only think he's going to move for like 30 mil, 25.
So they figure just take the
Yeah.
7 mil and then take whatever's left over
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
Because unless you get like unless you still think he's going to get a mouth-watering deal, which I'm not sure. I think he would still get.
Gives them some insurance on that, right?
Yeah. Like I would imagine like if they sold him like right now this minute, they would get good money for him. Like they would make the money that they've even spent today, like back and then some. Like they would still be making a decent profit. But
yeah, I think what's good about this as well, and especially the recent deals like Diamonde and things, that Varandas is sort of learning from his mistakes and he's buying more passes and he's not giving these sell-on fees, which can end up biting us in the
He's also upping release clauses a lot.
Unless the Swedish striker comes with a 35% sell-on fee,
then we might.
That is what I was leading to. So this story doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I could live with like 15 to 20%, but 35% is a lot of money.
Yeah,
to potentially give up in the future.
I am doubtful on this report being true. I think he's definitely coming. If you've been following us, make sure to follow us for sort of up-to-date transfer news. But this has been going on for at least the last month, and there's been negotiations back and forth. There's been other clubs interested, but it seems Sporting are the most interested.
Flying to England.
There's all signs point to he's coming to the team. Like all signs point to he's signing. It's just Coventry trying to get big and trying to nickel and dime Sporting, I think, now, and whoever else. Because Sporting is the only team that's made an actual offer. Like no other.
There's been rumored interest from West Ham and Burnley.
They've not made an offer. Sporting is the only team that's made a prop an actual. Here's cash money. Take it. I would like one Swedish striker, please. That's it.
The only thing I can see is maybe if West Ham are waiting to sell Declan Rice to get some cash in and then try and get Gyökeres.
Though, like
I know, but that's the only reason I can think of. But I don't think any other teams are interested in us. But the thing is, this deal doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, I think he's a great asset for Sporting, but 35% plus 20 million on a player at the last year of his contract doesn't make a lot of sense, which is why I'm doubting the report. I don't doubt the deal is close.
And even if the 20 million is true, it's still a massive investment either way, right?
Yeah, even if it's not that percentage of the future sale, like it's still a lot of money, especially it's a lot of money for any Portuguese team, let alone Sporting, who has very little money. So yeah, that's a big chunk of change.
And like I said, the direction that Varandas and Hugo Viana are seeming to move in, which is lowering those percentages, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think more likely it's going to be 20%, maybe a push 25. I don't think it'll be anything over that. But what are your guys' thoughts on the deal itself? Personally, I've not seen a lot of Gyökeres play, but what about you guys? Have you seen him play? Have you heard good things?
I watched him in the promotion playoff against Luton.
That didn't turn out too well for him.
None of Coventry really turned up for that one, to be fair. But I've watched some of his highlight packs. Like he seems okay. I mean, I would put Championship at about the level of Portuguese league because our league is a fucking farmers league, whether we admit it or not.
More physical. He uses his body a lot, it seems.
Yeah, he seems like I think he'll do well.
He was matching the physicality of Championship center backs.
Yeah, I think he'll do well physically. I think he'll handle like getting bumped around and stuff very well.
I think he has all the tools to succeed in the Portuguese league for sure.
I think so too. I think
but he's also very expensive, so that's a trade-off. But
yeah, I think
also there's no guarantee that he's gonna like this was the best season of his career by far. But he had a great season. And he's actually pretty good dribbling with the ball.
He's not like
different types of finishes.
Yeah. He's not like a Baz Doss who is
he's not just like
one touch goal or no
he's
touch.
A lamp post. He
can move.
Definitely brings a dynamic to the position that we do not have on the roster. I'll say
he gives me Thiago Tomas vibes in that he can run and actually dribble. But if Thiago Tomas could actually finish and was about 30 pounds heavier.
But yeah, I think definitely we've been calling out for a striker since Bas Doss left, arguably. So in 2019, when he left, I believe. We've been waiting for a striker. Paulinho came in for a record fee. I guess you could say mixed opinions. I think
He's the Allianz and UEFA man. What are you talking about?
that's what I mean. I feel like he's definitely 50-50 split across the fan base that a lot of people love him. But I think we can all agree, every sporting fan will agree, we need another striker. If you're a Paulinho fan,
they've held out on doing this for so long. And
they
now
put it off.
They bought Slimani 2 years ago, and I think that put Ruben Amorim off even more. Of buying
Ruben Amorim very quickly got bored of that toy. It was like, I don't like it. Give me something else.
Yeah, and then Slimani, by the way, just been released from Anderlecht. I think they finished like 12th, so it's a poor season for them.
Finished 12th. Wow.
It was definitely below that, or like below mid-table. I'm pretty sure they had a terrible season. Slimani did okay, to be fair. I think he scored a few goals, but obviously not good enough for them to keep up. I don't know. Obviously, if they don't have Europe and stuff, they're probably not going to be able to afford his wages, probably. But yeah, it looks like he's on the move again. I think this will be his 4th club in 3 years, or maybe 5th club in 3 years.
Yeah, he's been around.
And I don't think anyone's going to say he's going to come back to Sporting anytime soon. I think those bridges are burnt.
He might be like a Middle Eastern or even like an MLS.
Bring him back and they just run it back, lads.
Run it back, we're bringing the band back together.
Can
you imagine?
I don't know who we're gonna sign, but I can guarantee you we do not sign
Slimani.
Free agent Islam Slimani.
I think Slimani is more likely to hit like one of the Middle Eastern leagues, like a Saudi or a UAE, or
he's gonna cook and he's gonna fucking
or like an MLS team. Like
the league is getting
overpays.
stacked. The league is getting stacked.
Yeah.
Like I mean, say what you will about the whole thing, whatever. Like I'm not saying I like endorse the project or whatever.
Oh, you and me both.
But it will certainly be more competitive.
It's going to be interesting.
I tell you, there'll definitely be a fight. I don't know what the TV rights are in America for the Saudi League, but I don't think they're actually in England at the moment. So I feel like there's definitely going to be a fight.
Well, the only Sport TV was the only no one was showing them in Portugal. I know for a fact when they're going to all the signs, Sport TV was all over that, right? So I'm sure there's going to be
I've already declared my allegiance to Al Nassr from last season. So
Al Ahly for life.
A tough last stretch of games, but hopefully with the new signings they can compete again this season.
It does.
It's comeback season for Al Hilal. I'll say that much.
It does scream a bit of like Chinese Super League, so I think that's in a lot.
I think the difference is that Saudi have so much more money and they're investing in so much sport.
I think
as well.
too they're willing to see it through and just keep spending money, whereas China got kind of tired of it, and then COVID hit as they were getting tired of it.
Yeah,
so and I think we're gonna have to retire the time to start learning Chinese buddy joke, and it's kind of brush on your Arabic, dude.
Yeah, I think as well. There's a lot more football fans out in Saudi in the Middle East now.
They have an established football culture, and like say what you want, they do have somewhat of a football culture. It's certainly more so than Qatar and China, like certainly more so. Like the fact that even before
China really didn't/doesn't even to this day have it.
Yeah, I think they have more of an ingrained football culture than either.
Still ass. Like,
I think where China went wrong as well, they brought in loads of players.
Decent, relatively strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think China put in those foreign players, and I think like the second year they introduced the rule, we can only have 3. So it's like now you need to make your team up of Chinese players, which weren't ready that time. Maybe if you gave it like another 5-10 years, you probably could have made that change. But yeah, speaking of Saudi Arabia, our captain, our leader, our legend, Sebastian Coates has been linked out there from Ebola and Oshogo. I don't think Record have linked him out there yet. I think they said there's interest, but I don't think there's any offers.
This is the first time I saw clubs.
I only heard Saudi. I didn't see clubs. So he's got Al Ittihad, so he can play with Benzema. Al Nassr for that Ronaldo link up, and Al Hilal.
It's all the top clubs. Yeah.
It's the top 3 clubs. So all you're missing is like Al Ahly, basically, and that's it. Like
he could join former Sporting players Yuri Medeiros, who's gone out there recently, and Chico Giraldes, who
Yuri Medeiros I thought went to Qatar. He went
Yeah.
to.
Oh, sorry,
he
yeah.
Went to,
He went to
the other
correct.
Al
He went to
Nasser.
went to the Middle East, and Chico
He went to
Geraldes went to Saudi, I think, right? Or did he go to Qatar as well?
I don't know, but I know
He's
Medeiros.
went to
He signed
Saudi,
for the
yes.
other. He signed. You know, Medeiros. We joked the group chat. He signed for the fucking wrong Al Nasser.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
He signed for Al Nasser, but the Qatari one, not
No,
the Saudi one,
UAE.
or the UAE one.
There's
sorry.
it's like NASSER or something. It's like slightly spelled differently.
It's like a slight letter, like 1 or 2 letters off. But yeah, he signed for the. I think he just heard Al Nasser, didn't see it in writing. It was like, "Yep, sold." And didn't realize till after he signed the contract. I think it was big.
Well, I mean, the
Robinho
wages
to
probably
Man-
sold him straight away.
Oh, for sure. I think it was a little bit of a big like Robinho to Man City. He thought he was signing for fucking United. Like I think that's what it was a little bit as well.
But yeah, so Richard, I'll give it off to you. So we've had a few discussions on whether Quarta should stay, whether it should be a backup. Do you think? Okay, what would your opinion be if he did leave, and 2, do you think he should leave?
Fuck, show me the money. If they're getting if they're getting actual money for Sebastian Coates, you're a dumb idiot if you say no. If they're getting
bet they'll pay, like,
anything,
3 to 5 million transfer fee.
they might pay even more because they have the infinite money glitch. They might just say, "Here you go." They might not know better. They have no one to save them from themselves. If he goes, like I'll be sad to see him go. Still, but like if they're given if they're given any substantial money, like if you're Sporting, like you're
I've
dumb
extra
to say no.
salary.
Yeah, like if they're especially the salary, like if they're for him, like if they're making
How many
they're
more
gonna offer,
contracts
like,
is he
double.
gonna have in his life?
Yeah, this would be the contract that sets him and his family up for at least like a couple generations potentially, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him stay. I still think he plays a good part in the
If he's
team
just
when
gonna
he's
go
healthy.
next season, he might as well just.
Yeah, but yeah, if they're offering good money to the like in a transfer fee, and obviously they're going to offer him way more than we could ever pay him. For the love of God, take it. Both of you take. I will sign the contract myself. Take it.
I do think they'll probably do what they've done with other players in the past and just been like, "You've been a good servant here. If you want to go for free, you can go." So I don't think they'll probably be expecting a bid for him.
No. It would be probably a situation if you if that was the case that like it wouldn't be like that big of a fee.
It'd be a few
The fact that
million.
it's Saudi Arabia and the fact that he still has 1 more year left on his deal, it wouldn't shock me if they just like threw 3 to like or up to 3 maybe, up to 5 maybe.
They could just say, "Here's 5."
Buy him out of that last year of his contract and to get us to go away. Just make it easier, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they could.
That $3 million isn't that much to them at the end of the day, anyway.
That's they wipe their ass with that.
And it's basically if he was leaving to go anywhere else when he does eventually leave, whether it's now, if he was trying to go back to Uruguay now, if he's going back to Uruguay next, like it's all going to be free, right? So
if you can get something,
if they get
him, like,
anything, I would say that it's probably a bonus.
Yeah.
But it'll also be Kawats asking the club, like, all right, I have this offer, like this is the opportunity of a lifetime. I would like to rescind this last year of my deal. Sporting's not going to say no, you know.
They're not
so
yeah.
Maybe not, you know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the way I see it, he's been a loyal servant to the club. He could have terminated his contract at Alcochete. He could have done that and joined. I remember he was linked to like AC Milan and Italy and Spain.
Strong links. He stayed loyal.
Yeah, he could have gone. He stayed loyal. He's won pretty much everything there is to win. He won the league, obviously. He won Taça de Portugal. He won Taça de Ligas. Obviously, no European competitions, but he's played over 300 games for us. If he said, "Look, I want to go," life-changing offer for me and my family, I'm not going to stand this way. I think he's earned everyone's respect, and I think he has the right to choose this deal, and I think the best time is now. He's definitely been prone to a lot more injuries. That I think is his left knee is looking a bit shaky. He's pretty much been on one knee for.
If he waits a year, this deal might not be there if he gets hurt a bunch this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, collect the bag. I'm never gonna fault the guy for chasing the bag at the end of the day. I've always said it.
And like we said,
especially at this point in his career.
Yeah.
To be fair to Saudi as well, it's not like they're just hiring random players. They're hiring good, well-known players. So
he's a Uruguayan national team player. Like he's known in like decent amount of football circles.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's go on to the next piece of transfer news. Like I said, we've got a lot, so we're probably not.
We're gonna try to blaze through some of these.
Yeah, so this one includes 7 players in one big sort of post. So 7 players that Sporting want to get rid of, according to record. So for loan, Eduardo Quaresma. For sale, Ruben Vinagre. I forgot to translate his name, unfortunately. Thiago Tomas, which has had an official bid from Wolfsburg, which is at 8 million euros plus 2 in objectives. Jose Marsa, which I think is a pretty weird one. For termination, Camacho, Ilori, Enrique. I think Ilori's pretty much already gone. Camacho,
I thought Enrique was done too.
Enrique is sort of. I think he might have 1 year left. Yeah, but I think he's going to rescind and go.
Doumbia had 1 more year and he rescinded.
Doumbia is gone. We can confirm today. Doumbia has rescinded officially.
I think Thiago Ilori might be on. I'm pretty sure he was done as well, but I could be wrong.
No,
we gotta double check because we've thought that for the last 2 years.
No, it's not official.
Oh, okay.
I don't with Thiago Ilori, I don't believe it till I see the official comunicado or something like.
Yeah, I feel like none of us are going to disagree with the terminations. I think those players are never going to see the light.
I would really disagree with sales.
Jose Marsa for me,
Marsa's the only one I kind of I would walk back a bit actually.
If Kawhi leaves, they'll probably change course on him.
That's what.
Because they'll need center backs.
Yeah.
Well, not even Coates. The news was that Inacio, that was going to be the next piece, but I guess we can throw it on here as well. Inacio has been linked to Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool. Apparently, Sporting only want to sell for the release clause. But the reason this story is getting traction, at least for me, is that Eduardo Quaresma was apparently called back to preseason training after saying, "Look, you're not going to be there. You and Thiago Tomas are going to go." So they might think that someone, either Inacio or Coates, is one to go. Or both. Yeah.
One or both, either way.
And they're
it's weird to me that they chose Quaresma over Marsa. To me, Marsa's more ready for an opportunity than Quaresma.
Marsa seems more mature.
Last season, for Hoffenheim.
Yeah,
he seems more mature. He had some decent performances for Sporting Gion in the second division. Yeah. So
Quaresma hasn't. He needs to fucking grow up. He seems like he still seems like a child.
How this season would have gone if he played in La Liga 2 last season?
I feel like he probably would have got the same amount as Jose Marsa. I would say.
Give or take.
Or Hoffenheim was just a really weird move. I don't even know why Hoffenheim did it, let alone why Sporting accepted it, because there was no way he was going to get any.
He played a little bit for the reserves. That's about it.
But that's not going to help you in any shape or form.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Sam. I think Marsa's.
Sondela alone the year before was up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they did get relegated at the end as well. So
yes, they did.
Didn't really turn to
relegated, and they lost in the Final de Taça, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna, I'd swap Marsa for Quaresma in that list because I still think Marsa could be a decent player, and Quaresma to me he doesn't. Not only does he not seem ready as a player, he just mentally he seems like he hasn't grown up yet. He still seems like a bit of a dumb teenager sometimes. Bro, you're a professional player. Act like it a little bit, get a grip.
Yeah, one name I was actually surprised not seeing this list for either loan or sale was Gonzalo Esteves, because he's been linked to a move away. And sort of in the same situation as Quaresma, where they're both a bit immature. I think a lot of the time people are saying that they're both too social media orientated, they're always on Instagram doing stuff. And to be fair, I don't really care about that, but I think there's definitely probably
it's gonna come with the as time goes on. That's just gonna be the generations, right? That's gonna be a thing. I do think it's a little bit up to the player to know how and when to navigate that sort of stuff, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Most definitely. And looking at the list. Vinagre, I think his time's done. Although I think he can probably go somewhere else and probably be maybe a good mid-table Italian league, Spanish league player.
I got such a great unveiling video when we signed him. I'm so sorry. That used to be my FIFA career mode gem. I always buy him.
Yeah, and I think same with Quaresma. When he first came into Team Quaresma in lockdown, he had some really good performances. Then he got injured and it went downhill. He was pretty much going to be where Inacio was, if we look at it, because he got injured, then Inacio came in. Mm-hmm. And then Quaresma really never found his form. Same with Vinagre. He had some good performances before that Ajax game, and then everything went down here. There was rumours of injury rumors of lack of confidence. I guess we never really figured out which one was true. We were pretty much guessing that it was the lack of confidence. But yeah, is there anyone else on this list that you think or should be on the list that you think's not there?
I'm just shocked that Jovan's not on the list, but you never know what the fuck's going on with Jovan, so I'm not even going to waste my breath on him anymore.
Same with Roshinha, the transfer.
Roshinha, yeah, like
Artur Gomez as well. Even though his agent has come out and said that like the rumors that him
yeah, the Corinthians wants to swap 4 players. Rumor, I was like, yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah. They're like, here's a list of 4 players, and they're all like good. Like I've watched Brazil, like they're all like
they're definitely
players.
doing a 4 player.
I'm like, absolutely not. I don't think it'd be all 4. I think it'd be one of the 4. But I'm like,
I thought it was all 4.
God, no, because like, so I recognize some of the guys from watching Brazil lay down, and I'm like, there's no way it's all 4. It's got to be like one of these guys, and even then, like that's a stretch because like these guys are way better than our good.
Yeah, that
But
list.
if they want it, like fair enough.
They like forgot to include a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are three names like Artur.
They're just like that's just the list of like players that are just so far from the squad that they're not even like.
Yeah. They're not even. They're like a total afterthought.
Like Eduardo Quaresma, that pic of him at the fucking training ground with the ice in his veins. That was
ice. What ice? Fucking veins. What ice? Fucking.
He had a nice training session.
Yeah. But it also should be noted that Jovan has shown up to preseason. There's been photos of him apparently training very hard. Same with Paulinho and apparently they just love to post.
Paulinho's been training very hard.
That was the record headline.
Paulinho's been training hard.
And just on a sad piece of news, Andre Paulo's contract has expired as of today. Not been renewed. He was the 3rd choice goalkeeper, played twice, I believe, and both cameos were off the bench for the last game of the season. And so is Papuna Bureshvili, the Georgian keeper who joined us on loan, returning back to Dynamo. Yep, me and you both, but it was the story under that one.
Not a clue. I'm the first. That's the first time I think I've ever heard his name.
he was signed. He was signed for the B team, but I don't think he actually played that many games.
So I don't watch our B team, and our U23 team fucking sucks. So I don't waste my time.
Fair. But another one who is rumored to leave either a loan or a sale, which I haven't found yet, but I'll get to it, is Fatau. So there's been rumors of him leaving.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of blowback for that. A lot of people love Fatau, me included. Definitely did not get a lot of opportunities last season when guys like Artur Gomez. I don't want to say Roshinha because he barely got any other games.
Roshinha never played.
So like there were some other even when like Trincao was pretty bad and Pot didn't have the best games.
Fatau just continues to basically impress in other levels like Youth League, B team.
He's at the Junior African Cup of Asia, AFCON now, like under 23 AFCON, and he's playing well.
He can do something. So,
he's playing well everywhere.
He can't make it work.
But it's another one apparently doesn't train very well, and then it's the case of when he plays, you put him like right wing back. He's not a right wing back. He's either a forward or a winger.
Like you're not giving the guy any you got to give him a chance to succeed, and you're not doing that either. Like, here's the thing. He's played well at every level he's been. He's playing under 23 AFCON right now. No slouch of a competition. And he's playing very well there. Clearly, this kid's got something. It's just, I don't know if it's, like you said, he doesn't train well. I really don't fucking care. If the guy's going to ball on the field, he can have a fucking day off. Like, you think some of these guys in the fucking 80s, and, are you listening to stories from, Premier League guys in the 80s and 90s? Went to training, hung over, did a couple drills, a little passing, set up the pylons, then went on the weekend, banged in 3 goals against Burnley or some shit. I don't care. Clearly there's something there. This is where I really get baffled by the coaching staff. Play the kid, give him a chance. And when I say give him a chance, don't throw him at left wing back or right wing back. Throw him as a proper fucking winger. Or forward at the very least. Give him a chance to succeed.
And the management of him this season, like I said, has been baffling. So he came on against Porto, the second game of the season, nearly scored against Porto. Didn't play for ages. Come off the bench against Arsenal, which made him ineligible for the Youth League. Played 1 minute.
After he played an amazing game 2 weeks before for the Youth League as well. He played amazing.
Yeah, which then Amorim justified by saying he's going to play a lot more in the coming games, and then he didn't see a minute versus Juventus. So I don't know. It seems all a bit weird with him. I feel like he's definitely one that's going to leave. People compare it to Gonzalo Plata. I think he has a higher ceiling than Gonzalo Plata did.
I think he's got a higher ceiling and better attitude than Gonzalo Plata already at a younger age.
This is another one where he constantly seems to perform with every other shirt he puts on, except for the shirt.
Well, I mean, he's currently the under 21s with Ghana. He's been scoring. I think one of them was disallowed. He's been scoring for fun.
I've seen Plata play very well for the Ecuador senior national.
Yeah.
And he has
it's something in the water at Sporting.
At Valladolid this season. He never had anywhere near a fucking 8-goal season for Sporting.
No.
At any point.
He was the best player on a team that just got relegated, right?
And I think he was rumored to leave in January to a Premier League club after the World Cup because he had a decent
World Cup. He had a good World Cup. Ecuador played very well at the World Cup. They had a good tournament.
Yeah. Let me just rattle off some news that we're not really speak on because it doesn't really matter. There's a guy called Pepe from Grêmio who's been linked with Sporting in Brazilian media. He actually started his career at Portimonense. Apparently received an approach from Sporting, but Record or any of the other big three newspapers haven't said anything. Same with Rui Silva, was linked to Sporting, Benfica or Porto from Sevilla. From the Sevilla newspaper.
They just rattled off all the teams. Here's 3 Portuguese teams he could potentially go to. He's going to everybody. He's going to play 3 games a weekend.
They were like, he's Portuguese. Let's just name
when
3
clubs. When it's Benfica against Porto, he plays 1 half Benfica, 1 half Porto. Fuck it.
Tariq Lamptey, apparently he's getting less minutes at Brighton because Brighton wants Sacha Bowie. Lamptey and Sporting have been in talks apparently, but Sporting's focus has been on Gyökeres, so there's been no sort of contact to any other players as far as we're aware. Same with Van Uwijk is also linked to Sporting as another right back who also confirmed his interest in an interview as well, saying that he could join Sporting as he sees it as a good next step. So I think that one's probably more likely than Lamptey coming in all fairness. But we could see both of them, I suppose.
Once Gyökeres, whatever happens with the saga, and I still think he's signing, once that gets settled and everything and it's pen to paper, you'll start to see more concrete stuff from some of these other guys potentially.
Yeah. And in just kit news as well, so I'm scrolling, Sporting released a new vintage limited edition Stromp. It should be noted that it's the 1st of July. Apparently, there's going to be some reveal of potentially a new Stromp, so keep your eye out for that. They always like to do things on Sporting's birthday. Could even be the away kit as well.
It's crazy that the home kit's even been out for weeks, right? They usually everything.
We gave away a home kit for 1,000 subscribers. We gave away the new kit
way sooner than it ever has been before.
No, I remember when we first signed with Nike, it was just rumors, and we had one fake leak.
Well, do you remember they did last year? They did a blind mystery sale, didn't they? You didn't.
Yeah, they did blind sales both times for the first year and the second year. They did blind sales both times. So this year for the home kit, I was surprised they had it that too, but I guess it's still It was it wasn't even there was zero build up. We were just on Twitter one day. It was a random fucking Wednesday, and they're like, "Oh, boom, home kit. I'm at it." I was like, "Oh shit."
Keep an eye out.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for July 1st. Again, just speculation, but I assume they're going to release either the away kit or a Stromp kit or even a third kit. Maybe all 3 at once. They've still got outside the Alvalade, they've got the 3 jerseys there. One is obviously the home jersey, the other 2 are covered.
The training kit is out, but the casual line isn't yet, so that's still to come out as well.
Yeah, you'll see more merch stuff the next week and a half, 2 weeks, kind of probably coming in. But I imagine once they get all the shirts unveiled, which will probably be the next week, you'll start to see all the casual wear and stuff probably follow. Usually that's kind of how it's been since they've been with Nike, is once they kind of have all the kits done, you start to see the other stuff populate as well.
Yeah, most definitely. St. Just, Daniel Bragança and Jovan Cabral turned up to preseason a week early because all 3 had physical problems, especially Bragança and St. Just. Bragança obviously tore his ACL in preseason. St. Just had 8 injuries, I think, in total. Jovan, we were never really told what was wrong with him, but apparently he had.
I know what's wrong with him. He fucking sucks. I know what's wrong with the guy.
That too. Only 2 mistakes this season. Dan is close to a place in Sporting history, becoming one of the top 5 oldest players to ever play for Sporting. Hopefully, in my opinion, he doesn't stay around too much longer.
Hopefully he doesn't keep beating it.
So again, Chris?
Hopefully he stays so long that he becomes the oldest player to play for Sporting.
Who is the
hope
oldest
not.
player? It's got to be like.
I think it's Vitor Damash, wasn't it? He was like 43.
Oh God!
Okay,
I
I don't
like.
think he's gonna beat that.
I don't think he's beating that. Oh, God help us.
That was a guess. I think it is Vitor Damas, but I think
It's got to be. It's going to be a goalie. Like it's gonna have to be like a goalie or something. Surely.
it's definitely not Andre Paolo anymore.
No.
Unfortunately. But yeah, Record actually did say that Coates spoke to Vieto and former Porto player Marega. I don't know why he's speaking to Marega. I don't know what the connection is there. Apparently, he spoke to them too about playing in Saudi.
I guess both of you played in Portugal. Help me out. What's going on? What's the deal? What's happening?
Former Sporting player Diego Capel, has joined a team in the Kings League, which I believe is owned by PK.
Yeah,
He
the
is,
league.
So he's sort of come out of mini retirement, I suppose, to play.
It's like what 7-a-side or whatever, right? Like it's not even.
Yeah,
it's just indoor.
6 years ago, from June 21st, which is also my birthday, by the way. Pavilha Jarosha was spawned, sort of inaugurated, and then obviously they won the futsal league in there to celebrate. Just thought that was a cool piece of news as well. Let me just check for a few more, and then we'll move on. Hector Bellerin is confirmed to be leaving by Federico Varandas. So Varandas had an interview with Sporting TV, I believe, and just basically was asked loads of questions. One of them was about Bellerin, and Fabrizio Romano also reported the same, that apparently a deal's been in place from March. Bear in mind, Bellerin
So
February.
They had him for a month. No, barely a month. And it was there, and they found out that, he's probably not staying. Sorry.
That was a really stupid January loan.
Stupid saga. I'm glad it's over. We'd never have to think about it again.
Was it confirmed to be a loan, or was it confirmed to be a 6-month deal? Because there was never anywhere.
It was a loan.
It was a
loan. And then his Barca contract was going to run out, and then he had a pre-agreement with Sporting that he obviously wasn't signed or anything. It was just like a handshake agreement. And he also had a handshake agreement with other clubs as well. And then
he wanted to go. He never wanted to go. He wanted to stay.
He was just collecting handshake agreements. And to be fair, you would think he would have just immediately. Maybe he has to wait until July 1. To sign. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But we're losing a drippy player, unfortunately. Definitely had some fire photo shoots. That's
we
pretty
had
much why
fire Instagram post with all the retro.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, if you see those jerseys online for sale, it's because
I got one of them that he showed. I was like, I got that one. It was the all green one.
He doesn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Also got a team of the season on FIFA 23 for his goal against who was it?
Team of the season, you'll never sing that.
I can't remember who he scored against, but he wasn't even the man of the match in the game, which is funny.
That sounds like us.
But yeah, just a few more quotes from the Varandas interview to fire off. He said, "We're not used to a manager going to his 4th season at the club. He's saying he's happy, and that confuses many people." So just a slight shot at the Sporting fans for, I guess, criticising last season, definitely.
You're right to justify last season, but he's also not wrong. We usually have managers last a season or two at most. The last one that lasted this long was Jesus, went 3 seasons before all shit happened.
Yeah, and then Marco Silva for a year, Jardim for I think a year and a half. So he's got a point, but it was definitely a shot at Sporting fans. He does love to take a few.
We fired Marco Silva for not wearing a team jacket at one of the fucking games or something stupid, right? It was so. I think that was just I think that was more Bruno being like, "Oh, Jesus."
Or the press just made that up.
I think Bruno saw that Jesus was going to be available, made up his mind fuck it, I'm going all in just to piss off Benfica, and it almost worked. But I think that's what really kind of happened was he kind of was like, fuck it, I'm going to pivot to this, and we're going to just go all in and hope. And
it wasn't the official reason for sacking Marco Silva was because he didn't wear the correct jacket.
He didn't wear the correct suit jacket with the crest or something on Allegedly. But I'm there's no, you fine him or give him a talking to. You don't fire a guy over that. I'm sorry. I think he already had his mind made that they were going to sign Jesus and was
Wow, shit! I gotta get rid of this guy.
Well, if you
make up a
remember-
reason. Someone make up a reason.
The same thing happened with Mihailovic, rest in peace, obviously, that he signed for Sporting under Bruno Carvalho. A month later, Bruno Carvalho was gone, and then Sousa Sintra sacked him because apparently he tried to... I think the official reason was that he tried to change the training schedule or something, just like a normal coach would do.
It's like, that's not my coach. Fuck
And
it.
they were trying to say because they sacked him in the first 10 days that his contract wasn't valid.
Yeah.
And
which did not hold up in
did
court.
not work out.
Not hold up at all. Well, Sousa Sintra knows great deal.
Good old
Like,
first 10 days or free rule did not hold up in court.
they did not hold on. No, the old no backseas rule would fit them in the ass.
That month of Sousa Sintra is literally one of the worst months
And
like,
also
in
speaking
sports
of
history.
Sousa Sintra, what does he have to pay? A fat.
70 million. What are you
I'm
sharing
gonna
in
look
the
it
group
up so
chat?
we get the number right.
It's in the group chat. What are
This
you
man
guys
owes
sharing it?
70 million euros to a Brazilian business
That is no small
he has
chunk
been
of
trying
change.
to not pay for many years.
That is one Manuel Ugarte and a Thiago Tomas. That is a
That's
lot of
one
money.
Bruno Fernandes.
That is one Bruno Fernandes circa 2020, my friends.
But
Holy shit.
in that month he was president, so obviously he sacked the coach and lost his money, gave Bastos 100k a week, gave Batavia some crazy stupid money, gave Renat
Also,
crazy
you know
stupid
who his
money.
lawyer is? Who Sousa Sintra's lawyer is?
Oh, I want
Who's
this
that?
ridiculous.
Rogério Alves.
Rogério Alves. so
Honestly,
good.
Rogério Alves just lost the case.
Yeah.
Brother. That's a
Here
fat
you
L.
go. I forgot Rogério Alves
What
even
the fuck?
exists. Wow.
Yeah,
Huge
let me
L
rattle
all
off
around.
some more quotes and feel free to chime in if you've got any opinions. He said, we were behind Sporting Braga that was extremely irregular, but in the 3 games we played against them, we had a partial of 13-3. In the last 2 games, we won twice 5-0. We're a team that failed to materialise its good quality of play, which I guess is true, but I don't think the shot of Braga needed to happen, to be fair. Braga were the better team all season, hence why they finished above us. And to go on from that, he goes, it's a season that from a sporting point of view didn't go well. We had the expectation of finishing the season in the first 2 places, which we did the last 2 seasons, which were successful. This year we didn't manage to. It didn't go well. It's a fact. So at least he's sort of taking a little
credit to owning up to it.
It's
Like,
just to try to say, actually, this season went really well. It's a tough argument to make. So
yeah.
I'm glad he didn't attempt to do that.
Yeah, I respect him for being honest and like with not just with us, more with himself, being like, you know what, yeah, like we didn't do great, like we probably could have been better, but you know, a lot of things to happen. Like, fair enough, I'll give him some props for that, for not.
I mean, to be fair,
dodging it and avoiding it.
I would say it was a good modality season, not a great one.
It was fine, yeah.
Yeah, from our standards.
Yeah,
We've
I
had
would have liked
better
to see the women's team win some semblance of silverware. It would have been
Handball
nice. But
didn't win.
handball didn't win.
Hockey
Hockey didn't win. Like,
Volleyball got scraped per usual. I mean,
we won the
basketball
table
won,
tennis modality.
it was
the other
only
day.
futsal was the main modality that we
What
won.
did the basketball team won though? Didn't they?
Mhm.
No, we did. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, like
Our table tennis team won, I think, a week ago, maybe less than that. They won, I think, their 4th
Had a
championship.
decent run to like the quarterfinal of the Europa League of handball, but then lost by 1 goal. I mean, that's decent, but
could have been better.
Yeah.
Obviously could have been far worse, but could have been better, I think. And like a few near misses, like teams making finals or going far and not quite getting there, like happens. So not the worst season, but you know, it is what it is. The average season for Valley Dodge.
Yeah, definitely. And conveniently, 10 days before the interview, Record printed a story that Varandas made 200 million in a year. Sporting sold more in 1 year under the 4 previous years of Varandas management, and he's already responsible for the 5 biggest transfers in club history. So, yeah, that is a little bit of Record propaganda for you in there. I know we're not supposed to say about propaganda. Definitely a sore spot for a lot of our old followers, at least.
For some people get they get their jimmies rustled, as we say here in.
yeah, and to be fair, it technically is true.
Yeah, no arguing.
No wrong. Like none of what Sam just said is false. Like it's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's true, but doesn't make it any less propaganda.
Yeah. It's just the timing of it, right?
To be
it
fair,
came
at
really
least he's
close to
getting
the
his
end.
own players that he has signed and then sold onto that list rather than players
Guys
that
from
he
previous
inherited.
administrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
I mean, you know, he's had some good hits.
Ugarte and Porro are going to be on that list now, and they were both signed, and they were just
They're his boys.
yeah, they're from this admin 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, like now you're getting into territory, and he's had good hit. Yeah, he's had some just whiffs, obviously. I mean, you're not going to hit on all of them. He's had some good hits. Like, you got to take the good with the bad. And, like, I think there's somewhere he could be better, but I think this transfer window is going to really, and this upcoming season is going to dictate a lot. Like, if they're competitive, you know, for most of the season, if they win something, if whoever they sign turns out to be okay, like he could make or break a lot of goodwill with fans this next season, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. Let me just read off a few more sort of loose ends that we have as well. The UEFA Women's Women's Champions League, is that correct? The cup final is being played at the Alvalade, which is great. Great sign, not just for the Alvalade, but for the women's game.
Champions League's coming to Alvalade, ladies and gents. Look out.
Sporting will not be in it because they will not be in the competition.
Highly
doubt. So it will be impossible for them to reach the final.
It would be a footballing miracle if they made the final. It would be It would be the Leicester City of women's football. Like, it would be unbelievable.
I mean, the Portuguese league, I think, gets one qualified.
They get the I think they're doing it so the champion gets a spot. I think it might be like a runner-up or something.
Benfica has had to go through qualifiers in the past.
Yeah,
they actually made it last year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give us.
They were up against it.
Slots soon.
They were up against it. They got scraped in a couple games. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good because like
much higher level than they're used to.
Yeah, like the women's game from where it was even 5 years ago to what it is now in Portugal is night and day. But there's still lots to be done development wise. And yeah, I think even if a Portuguese team does qualify, it's not going to be Sporting. I don't think. I think Benfica is just that much far and away ahead of us right now, in terms of just how they've invested and the quality of players that they're getting right now. Like we have a young team. So I don't see us having quite the success there. Any sustained success I think that we were having is, I think, a little ways away for the time being.
Yeah, most definitely. Just a few more points. Franco Israel made his debut for Uruguay in the national team, which was very strange considering he only had a handful of appearances, but fair enough to him. Kept a clean sheet, I believe, in his debut for Uruguay, so fair play to him. All 6 points were approved of the AG, so everything they put forward has gone through.
It was all budget stuff, anyways. I think, right? Like, just say, like, here's what the budget was.
Yeah, that's as far as I'm aware. Nothing too drastic went down.
No.
Alfonso Moreira and João Munoz are on the brink of the first team. They got called to pre-season. Apparently, Alfonso Moreira going to be a right back, a right wing back.
They turned down like Portuguese youth like team obligations to stay for the preseason, right? Like,
yeah. So and those two have definitely been for a while the next two that were going to step up anyway. Be interesting to see Diogo Calais as well, where he goes from here, because obviously he's got a lot of potential, but it seems like Israel's been probably more minutes by Marim as well. Adan, who knows what's going to happen to him. To be fair, I could see Adan taking a Saudi offer if someone comes in, but I doubt anyone will come in.
I don't know if anyone's coming in.
Out like that to get the Saudi bag.
Played for Real Madrid.
Played for Al Nassr UAE.
Yeah,
I mean, played with Ronaldo, so Ronaldo might be like,
Played with Ronaldo, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can flex that.
Sure.
And yeah, I guess the last piece of news, which was a sad one for the futsal team, is that Guita and Eric have left the futsal team, both gone on to other challenges. I believe, was it Eric, the one that posted on social media that he got offered like a lower wage to stay?
Gita came out probably and said they lowballed him.
Yeah, that was it, which was denied by
Sporting that we'll never know what happened, right?
Yeah,
I'm more inclined to believe Gita than
why would he lie about that, right?
Yeah, exactly. If he wanted to leave, he'd just be like, "Yeah, I left." Like he won everything with Sporting. You can leave.
Yeah,
but he's definitely he's going to Russia, right?
He almost left last year. Basically,
somehow
came back.
He's almost left the last like 2 years. You're right.
Yeah, chase the
And
ball.
Eric, we kind of knew about.
We got
We kind of
Tainan
known about
back,
that one.
which is a good sign.
Tainan.
Yeah.
Tainan returned. He was part of
The Kazakh Brazilian, my favorite Kazakh Brazilian.
Kazakh Brazilian. I remember seeing him at the last Futsal World Cup, and I was like, that dude played for Sporting. And that's like, who? I'm like, who from Kazakhstan played for Sporting? I'm like, fucking Tainan, bro. He's like, Tainan? I'm like, you won the Champions League with us. Put some respect on my boy Tainan. And Eric, we knew he was leaving like from mid-season.
He's been gone.
That's
I was in Portugal in October of last
when the news started to drop.
Yeah, I remember tweeting, reading that Barcelona was in on him. So I think he's had a handshake agreement with Barcelona for 8 months, 6 months.
Yeah, we've known about him for a while, so nothing shocking.
But yeah, I believe that brings us to the end of everything, unless you guys got anything else.
Just Silasal stuff we want to jump in. And so the men's, we'll do a senior team first because they're easy. They won both their Euro qualifying games. It was 2-0 and 1-0. That Iceland game was it was a nice throwback to the Ferdinand Sanch days. I saw the meme right after the game. It's like, you killed the man, but not the vision. It's like, bro.
Bailed out by a weird CR7 goal.
Bailed out by a CR7 goal that
CR200. I'll have you believe
CR2. Fair enough. Right. He played okay in the whoever the fuck they played in the first game. I don't even remember. But he played okay in that one. Bosnia. He played all right there. And then the under 21s, they lost, then drew, then won. They are into the quarterfinals of the under 21 European Championships. They will be playing England. This is the Bosnia game. Oh, we won 3-0 that game, right? Bruno Fernandes. Bruno's been on fire for the national team last year, so good on him. He's my man of the match.
I thought Bosnia's gonna be better. I'll be honest.
I expect.
I feel like their team's quite old now.
Yeah.
If you look at Gyökeres, it's probably 36. Pjanic probably the same. Kolasinac the same.
And if you look at them,
Gyökeres still playing
kind of fucked already.
Yeah.
Shout out goal point, by the way. We love goal point here.
We love goal point. The goal point is gospel in these parts.
Yeah, and let me just share the Israel.
1-0 against
Iceland.
Iceland.
That's how I got Israel from. Thinking of the goalkeeper clearly.
Israel could qualify for the Euro this year.
Yeah.
Or from out of their group.
Yeah.
Top two spots are
that's one of the things about a 24-team Euros or of expanded Euros, right? Like, you're going to get some random teams every once in a while. Yeah, so we won 1-0
6.1 and a goal. I don't think I've ever seen a lower rating for someone who scored.
A guy with a goal.
Liao was pretty poor. I'll say that.
No, I only watched the second half of this game. Like, no one played well. They were lucky to get the win. I'm being honest.
I'll be real. I did not watch any of these games. I watched.
I had a wedding. I had a wedding on the Saturday, so I only watched the second half of the Bosnia game, and then I was at work, so I watched the second half of this game when I got home. So I only watched one whole game out of two, and it wasn't even a complete game of either.
I watched 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched the second half of both games.
I watched the second half of Bosnia.
I got the second half of Bosnia, so you made up for missing the first half. And then the under 21s, they lost their first game to host Georgia 2-0. They drew to Belgium 1-1, and then they actually won by the skin of their teeth yesterday 2-1. And because Belgium did not win their last game, they qualified. They play England, I believe, on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, in the quarterfinals.
They're done.
And worth noting that the top 4 teams, I believe, this also counts as Olympic qualifying as well, this cycle of the Euros. So if they go to semifinals, they would at the very least have a chance. They would at the very least qualify for a playoff to get the last European spot for the Olympics next year. So be nice, but who the fuck knows? Even if they go to the Olympics, chances are they're not going to get most of their best players because a lot of them will probably be at the Euros that summer. So it be what it be. But we'll be watching them. They've been kind of giving me Ferdinand Sanch shithouse vibes. This team. So who knows? Maybe Rui George. He saw the vision, and like they said, you can kill the man, but you can't kill the idea. Who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. To be honest, I've not watched a single game under Roberto Martinez, just because international friendlies bore me. And so Nations League is glorified friendlies too.
This is your qualifiers. This is your qualifiers, my guy.
Yeah, I know, but I just can't be bothered.
You know what? We were talking before. There's just too many competitions. There's too much football.
Nations League is at least better than international friendlies, but it's still stupid.
It still kind of blows, like, honestly. It still blows a little bit. Like, it's still just kind of like there's too many games. There's too many competitions, too many games. Like, we've had enough.
I love football, but I feel like a break of football is also needed. And
I remember as a kid, it was always like you had World Cup one year, and then you have, like, you know, in our neck of the woods, we had the Gold Cup and like Copa Americas or something. We'd have the Euros, and then I'm gonna fucking die on this hill. I missed the Confederations Cup. I just want to get that out in public.
USA made an epic run one time.
Bro,
2011 or 2009.
2009. I like the Confederations Cup. I would take that over any fucking Nations League any day of the week.
I remember Tahiti.
I love that.
One time they kept getting beat like 4
They got smoked every time. I don't know. I prefer an expanded Confederations Cup over Nations Leagues and stuff like that. I think that would be more fun. But they don't like my ideas. I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid anything. But that's the hill I'll die on. Bring back Confederations. Fuck the Nations League. Bring back Confederations Cup. Cosign. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's too many fucking little random tournaments now. It should be like just one tournament every year or so, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need like 8 things.
Yeah. To be honest, now it's I don't even watch preseason games that much.
No, I can't be arsed. There's too much.
I like going into sporting games with like surprise. Like I've not seen what's happening in preseason.
I'll watch like if it's a summer's day and there's absolutely nothing going on. I'll throw it in the back. I'll throw it in the background. But I'm not watching with any intent. I'm like glancing up every so often from what I'm doing. I think there's just too much football. I think you need like at least a month out of the year where there's just zero football at any given point. Yeah,
I'm not going to agree. But I'll tell you what there's not going to be zero of is that content on our channel. We've got a few good things lined up. Thank you for that segue, by the way. We've got a good few things lined up. Definitely some ideas for the future as well. Obviously, Guess the Career Path and podcast will still be coming. But yeah, I think we covered everything. So we had
a lot of stuff to get to because we took a week off. We had so much shit to get to.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be back next week because it depends on, I guess, what happens in the world of sports. If any more transfer news comes in, I don't think there's any more international friendlies or Euro qualifying.
There's no Euro. It'll just be under 21s potentially playing in a semi, depending and. If we want, we can talk Women's World Cup, which I'm always down to do. I love women's soccer, so we could, with the national team being there, it might be nice.
But yeah. Keep an eye out on our channel. We've got a new video coming on Saturday. Career Path will be clipped up, but if you've been here already, you've probably seen that. So we'll clip that up as well. Like I said, more content coming soon. So keep an eye out. Make sure you subscribe. Watch our videos as well to get that view time up. So yeah. But without further ado, let us sign off. So you can follow Richard here. Let me get rid of the banner so you can actually see it clearly. Follow Richard there. You can follow Chris here. Follow Danny Saldana down there as well. You can also follow myself. But most importantly, make sure you follow at ATA Alvalade on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Facebook as well. Spotify, SoundCloud, all things Alvalade, all your good podcast streaming services, you'll find us. But without further ado, we'll sign off, and we don't know when we'll see you next, but we shall see you soon.
Week or two?
Yeah, week or two. All right, see you soon, boys. Peace.